A group of friends saw a stranger leave a tunnel in the woods in a hurry. They thought something happened, so they decided to film a video.
Andy caught someone coming out of the tunnel. Pretty creepy, pretty scary. So.
Oh bro, what's that smell?
Oh, it's rank.
Can you smell that?
Guys, there's literally flies all over the place.
Oh bro, can you smell that? That stinks,
Oh,
bro.
nasty, man.
In the tunnel, they found a white sheet covered in a red liquid with a humanoid figure underneath it. And this is what happened next.
That stinks. Man, that was grim. Hey, we need to ring the police.
Crazy as anything.
We need to ring the police.
What?
We need to ring the police.
Have you got a phone?
No, I've not got a phone. Have you got one?
Bro.
Hey, can I have police, please?
From a fun hike with friends to becoming suspects in a matter of minutes. Not a situation I want to be in. The shadow hunters from Brazil go exploring the woods to find an abandoned house which has been rumored to be haunted by a poltergeist. It was a long walk through complete darkness to find it, but when they did, they went sprinting to it, so that if there's anyone inside, they'd have no time to react.
Vai por aí. Tem alguém aí?
They scouted around the house and found something very disturbing that made them regret their decision of going there at night.
Tem nada aí não. Tem alguém aí? Tem vela aqui também. Nossa, mano do céu.
On the ground, they found freshly lit candles placed around a sheet that seemed to have something strange underneath it. Something really wrong has gone down here right before they arrived. What was covered by the sheet was not moving and showed no signs of life at all. They went inside to get a better look, but did not dare lift or touch the sheets. What do you think was under there? Perhaps an animal? If the legends about the poltergeist are true, then we can all conclude what was underneath that white sheet. They don't waste any time and call the cops for help. Sidestep Adventures was shocked that he finally managed to find the thing that he was looking for in the Georgia woods.
You stepped on it? Oh wow. There it is.
They found a grave in the middle of nowhere. They reassembled all of the grave's pieces and politely read the name, which was engraved out loud.
It is sacred to the memory of Mrs. Jane. And died November 3rd, 1843.
Under the heavy stone, they found a crushed bouquet of flowers which seemed to be in a good condition. The petals were still vibrant and colorful. Finding fresh flowers under a 19th century grave is already shocking enough. But then some more facts emerge and they realize who Mrs. Jane actually is.
Stacy Duckworth and Samuel were my great-great-great-grandparents. So she was actually a half-sister to my great-great-grandfather.
Basically, these adventurers stumbled on a concealed grave in the middle of the woods with fresh flowers underneath it, despite the grave being from the 1800s. Then they discovered that it's a long-lost relative. Seems like this was all destiny.
Well, we did find it somehow. I tell you, if you hadn't stepped on it, we wouldn't have.
It's almost as if the spirit of Mrs. Jane guided her relative towards her. Haunting the Haunted, a ghost hunting channel investigated an old abandoned farmhouse and managed to get numerous paranormal encounters caught on video. In the kitchen, they saw a possible ghost orb floating around whilst Jay was asking questions.
What's your name? As soon as I turned around with you, it was right behind me.
This could very well be a piece of dust, except it only appeared when Jay wanted to know the ghost's name and when they mentioned about something appearing behind his friend. The light orb appears behind his friend and goes away immediately. Another ghost orb reappears when they point it out.
Did I say? Yes. This is definitely a creepy place at night.
They investigate the surrounding property to see if they find anything else.
That's what I'm saying. I swear there was a woman.
Numerous times in the video, they heard the laughter of what sounds to be a woman.
I'm telling you, I heard something. I heard a woman or something. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was going to say something.
A mysterious figure appears surrounded by darkness far into the forest, and there was nothing reflecting light when they arrived.
You know what else I don't hear? What? I don't hear that owl no more.
So this is quite shocking. As they are leaving, this unknown light suddenly blinks out. As soon as it does, the ghost orb reappears again for one last look. They did not notice these signs at the time, but when they analyzed the footage, everything was right in front of them. This happened a few seconds after they heard the woman laugh, so they concluded that this was definitely paranormal activity, and I'd have to agree. Bryce Newbold was on a hike through Ohio's Shawnee State Forest, and let's just say it wasn't a very pleasant one. It was a hot summer day, and he had many miles ahead. After 4 miles, he was soaking in wet clothes, but he proceeded to walk half a mile more to drink from a river. His next source of water was 12 miles away, reachable by nightfall. By the second day, he was feeling awfully miserable and drained, so he decided to take a shorter route.
I am absolutely covered in either little tiny ticks or chiggers. They're probably chiggers. They are all over me right now. I tried washing them off, but I'm gonna have to go through and pick them off one by one, it looks like.
He was looking pretty pale by the end of the day, even though he was heavily exposed to the sun. This is because Bryce was covered in ticks, which were constantly sucking on his blood flow, and by the end of the day, things were getting pretty bad.
And I have a million bites from those little chiggers last night. You can see they're still on there.
After that, he got back home, and his legs and feet were covered with marks from the ticks. That looks pretty bad. I mean, I'm not a doctor myself, but those really need immediate care. Let's just hope that he didn't catch an infection from one of those ticks. A YouTuber with the channel name DYP Official found an abandoned facility in the outskirts of a forest. One of them climbs to the top of a big blue mixer and decides to stick his end on the other end, which is very scary for obvious reasons. They found 2 other similar containers.
Found a whole thing of sulfuric acid in the woods. Sulfuric acid. Yo, please stop, bro, please.
One of them tried to open the release valve, but that would have been a really bad idea, given that the container had sulfuric acid written on it. An acid spray could have been very dangerous. In a nearby room, they found a gas mask and various science equipment. A particular vial, which was still full, got their interest, so they took it outside for a better look.
Boom!
Thankfully, it didn't break, as inhaling unknown chemicals is never a good idea. They found a bottle of polyseed written on it, and it got me curious, so I googled what it's about. The answer clearly shows what this facility was all about. Most probably it was used to break down biological waste, and the fact that there was acid makes even more sense now. Basically, they have been playing around a biological waste compound the whole time, touching things that normally require protective clothing to handle, inhaling the air which probably is contaminated with God knows what, and sticking your head over a container which probably had acid in the past. Let's hope these guys did not suffer from any chemical reaction afterwards. Smallmouth Crush was making a fishing video near Washington, D.C. for his YouTube channel. He was cruising around when a strange figure caught his eye. A head was sticking out of the water, long black hair with her back to him. He kept looking at the head for a long time, unable to process what he's seeing and unsure on what to do next. He gave the object a poke to make sure that it is what he thinks it is. Yes, it was a face, and it was exactly what he was afraid of. When he pokes at it some more and gets closer, he discovers it was a mannequin head and not a real one.
Dude, what is happening? Look at this thing. This is nasty.
It was a relief that it wasn't a real human, but it raises the question on why someone would take a blindfolded mannequin to that particular place. There are rumors of people performing their desires on mannequins before moving on to the real thing, as part of their transformation into a maniac.